We're getting towards the end of time. What I want to do is I want to go down the row of the panelists, and I want them in just a couple minutes, 1 or 2 minutes, leave us with something that you see is a takeaway based on what we discussed tonight. As far as the future, something positive, what can we take away and implement in our businesses and what we're doing to be creative, innovative, persevere in a downtime, and thrive here in the Inland Empire, regardless of what the economy's doing. We'll start with Garner and we'll work our way down.
I thought you were going to ask me about the competition, so I've prepared an answer. And
you can do that too if you want.
I think that would be my answer for what you're going to ask me now.
I should have given you a syllabus first, right?
I like the competition question, and I wanted to say something about that. The reason that, when I started business years ago, an old man that I respected very much told me, he said, don't worry about the competition. I was very concerned about getting in the business. He said, just do a good product, make everybody appreciate what you've done, give them a good deal, and they'll come back to you. And that's been very true. I think the most important thing that we do is look hard at the competition and find out what their faults are. And we've spent a lot of time doing that. If they don't service the product fast enough, or they don't have ethics in the way they handle their business and work with the client, we turn around and make conscious efforts to fix those things, or to actually show ourselves, greater in those areas. And in some cases, we have impressed the customer so much that they have, indicated to us immediately that they wouldn't go to anybody else. And I think, as a takeaway, I think one of the things that I'm proud of about our business is that we're a very moral and ethical operation. One of my tidbits of business value, I think, that we have had for many, many years is the fact that we always give the customer more than they pay for. And in this day and age, especially in downturn economies, when our competitors are cutting corners, people are surprised when that happens. And whether it's a small client or even somebody as big as one of the big parks, get one of our products and it has more features or something better or something more than they contracted us to do, they're stunned, they tell everybody else, they can't believe it, and they assure us that they'll come back because we make them look good for their clients and their bosses and things like that. And it gets to be a game of how much we can impress our clients with our product. And it's something that I think has caused us to have great success and people to return to us regularly for their work.
Thank you. Kathy, leave us with a thought.
Thanks. Usually my voice carries pretty good anyways without the microphone, but for us, I think it's knowing the industry, being on top of what's coming, the laws and regulations for sustainability and recycling and waste management. We need to know that inside out to be the best possible resource for our clients. And that's what we do, being aware of what's coming, being flexible so that you can adjust to whatever the market conditions are, whatever your new client brings your way, whatever new city or county or waste hauler springs on you, with new procedures, it's just incredible how it's changing the recycling industry right now. And so just, again, being on top of it, understanding the industry, and being the best resource for our client. And I think anybody that can do that in their own industry is going to be able to grow and improve, just by being an awesome resource for their clients.
Ben?
So I guess specifically for downturns, I think the hardest thing for small businesses is you don't have a lot of capital resources to ride out the bumps. And so I guess my best advice there is to up front, while things are going well, while you have momentum, even though everyone's saying, focus on what's working for you, you have to take the time then to start looking at what is the next thing you're going to do, what is the next relationship you're going to build that's going to pay fruit 3 years from now, 5 years from now, and start laying the groundwork, because you will hit those bumps. And when you do, it's not what you're going to do in those 30 days or those 6 months that's going to save you. It's what you did a year ago or 2 years ago to put yourself in a position to ride through it.
All right, Ambrose?
Really just a quick thought. Entrepreneurship is one of the keys to social and economic prosperity. We need entrepreneurship now more than ever. We have a lot of challenges in health, in energy, and in so many different areas, and we need entrepreneurs to step up and really do what it takes to turn great discoveries into businesses. When that process is successful, all of us, everybody with no exception, actually benefits, whether you're government, research institution, education, someone who's seeking a job. All of us, with no exception, benefit when entrepreneurship prospers. So, I would say the opportunity is great, especially here in the inland region. Growth is happening, and growth is happening obviously east, and it's a great opportunity. I think it's great timing, and this is the time for those of you who are aspiring entrepreneurs to really take the initiative and begin a business and look at competition as a healthy thing. Competition actually improves the industry for all of us because it keeps us on our toes, and it's a good thing. Fair competition is a great thing for the industry.
Hey, Mac?
Awesome. So I think one of the big takeaways from tonight is just really when you're looking at developing a business, you're really developing a lifestyle that goes along with it. And it's a lifestyle of that business, the culture that you create there within, but then also the passion that you create from your consumers for that product. There's a lot that goes with it. So it's not just necessarily job creation, but it's creation of a culture around what you're offering. And I think that's what really makes companies a mainstay, especially in economies that are up and coming, that they'll stay there because people really rally behind them, and they rally behind them internally and they rally behind them externally as well. So creating that culture that is something that people love to live behind and want to work for is something that's really important. And then you want to build that into the product as well. So people that experience the product experience that same vitality that the people that work for the company do as well. So that can never be underestimated. Always so important, and will definitely lead to success and economic development in growing regions.
All right, Mayor Baily, you get the last word.
All right. Well, thanks again for having me and for picking Riverside and our airport for this occasion. And, I'd step back and look at the definition of leadership. Build Leaders is the title of your organization. And so what is a leader? What is a leader of character? That was mentioned a couple people down from me. And I would say there's 4 things that are the foundation of a leader of character. That's someone who has integrity. And that's someone the basic definition of integrity is you're the same person wherever you go, right? You don't change at home and at work and at church and playing, baseball or softball with your friends. You're the same person. They know who you are. And then vision, having that vision. You've heard about vision tonight, the vision of these business owners. You got to have courage. You can't be afraid to fail. I think entrepreneurs are going to fail from time to time. And so we have to create that entrepreneurial ecosystem that allows that, accepts that, and then helps them get back on their feet and to continue to build another business. And then passion. And you just heard that, from my neighbor here, is you got to have passion when you're a leader because people will follow that wherever it goes. And then I would say, as I mentioned earlier, you got to build on your assets, play to your competitive advantages for the city. It's our infrastructure, including a municipal airport and the other systems I talked about. The educational institutions helped us weather the storm, the 3 universities and the college that we have here in Riverside. And then the social capital that over 100 plus years Riverside has built up. Those are those networks of businesses and churches, faith-based organizations, and families that have rooted themselves in this community and tied themselves to the economy. And so you need to be able to create relationships for the long run and not just worry about customers, but look at how you are, building that relationship with the individual and with their with their family and create that legacy for generations to come.
All right, thank you. A quick rundown. What we just heard as final thoughts. First was do more than what you're asked to do. Add value to what you're doing. Second was know your clients' needs. Know your industry. Do your research. Do your homework. Third was look to the future. Don't stay rooted in where you are. Look ahead. Always be planning for your next step. Then we had the importance of entrepreneurship, meaning the old Nike thing, just do it. Get out there, take a risk, make it happen, take a step, and create the culture, a culture that is willing, that's going to sustain itself by building up a culture in a business where people keep moving, the products keep moving because you've built a culture that sustains itself. And finally, as Mayor Baily, he summarized all this by giving us a synopsis of what a good leader is. Every business needs good leadership, not necessarily good management's important. Good leadership is what makes a business thrive. So with that, I thank you all for coming. Drive safely. I think the freeways are probably cleared up, and we'll see you next time.